Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. I'm Tess and I post a bunch of different content here on YouTube, and today we are back with my August wrap up from this year. I finished one book and then I started and finished 3 books, so I feel pretty proud of myself for that. Also, I don't know what is going on with my lighting. I think it's because my window. I have a curtain that's supposed to go here and the rod keeps falling off because of the paint, so that is why my lighting situation kind of sucks when I film during the day, but it's all good. But anyway, I've read 4 books in the month of August. I'm about to start another one, but I don't think I'm going to finish it in the next 2 days because she's a thick one. She's a thick one, so I don't think I'm going to finish The Brothers Hawthorne, so I'm not going to put this in my wrap up. So the first one is Warcross by Marie Lu. This one follows Emmy, who is a hacker, and she hacks into the championship, the opening ceremony of the Worldwide Warcross tournament, and the creator of the game sends her to Tokyo and asks her to try to find a hacker who's been illegally gambling on games and stuff like that, and she ends up falling for him, and it's really, really good. So this one I gave 5 stars to. I really, really loved it. I thought it was just very well told. Honestly, this should be a movie. I was trying to tell my coworker about it because I know he's also a gamer. He's not a reader, but he's a gamer. The whole time I'm telling him about it, he was just like, this sounds really good. Like, this would make such a good movie. Like, honestly, like, why are people not making this a movie? Why isn't this a movie? Because this is almost, I think, a more YA vibe than Ready Player One, at least from what I feel like. I haven't read Ready Player One, but I want to. And then the second book I read is The Upper World by Femi Fadugba. I'm so sorry if I butcher his name. I'm very bad at pronunciations. And this one follows Esso, who is a man who he gets involved in an accident. He gets hit by a car, and he can see a bunch of different possibilities of the future. So almost like a Doctor Strange kind of thing, but not as many scenarios. There's only 4 or 5 of them at each time. And then 15 years later, we also follow Ria, who happens to, she needed tutoring, and Esso was her tutor, even though he wasn't like licensed or whatever through the agent, like through the school and through the social workers. But this was really good. I just found out that there was a sequel while I was reading this one. I read this in a reading vlog a couple weeks ago, and I really liked it. I think I'll give this one 4.5 stars or something like that. 4.5, 5. I forget how many stars, honestly, but this one was so good. I can't wait to pick up the sequel. I just hate that with this one, it's hardcover, and why is the paperback, or why is the sequel a paperback? Like, publishers, I'm just asking you to maintain consistency through a series, because I know I'm not alone in wanting books that are consistent. Like, if you're going to release the first couple books in hardcover, please make all of them available in hardcover. And same thing with paperbacks. Like, please don't change the covers every time a new book comes out, because it's really hard to get the whole series consistently. Like, please just be consistent with your formats. That's all I ask. If the first book or the first 2 books in a series are hardcover, please make hardcovers available for the rest of the books. I understand that they're expensive, but it's worth it, because the aesthetic is so much better, and also there's just something about a hardcover book. I don't know what it is. And then the third book that I read in August was Wildcard by Marie Lu. This is the sequel to Warcross. This one, we're following Emmy in the closing ceremony of the Warcross Championship, and she finds out who Zero is, and we find out where he is and what happened to him, and there's just a whole bunch that goes on in here. There's a lot of like, I feel like there's a lot of like self-discovery in here, but also a lot of plot twists. Like the last, like, I was gripped for the last like 60 pages or so. I do feel like this probably could have been a longer standalone, but at the same time, I do like that it's only a duology, because I feel like any other books in the series would really just wash it down and water it out, and it just would not be that good. So I'm really glad that she kept this to a fairly short duology. But honestly, the series, it needs to be a movie, guys. It really needs to be a movie, and I will like keep yelling it from the rooftops and stuff like that. So, and then the last book I finished in August, which is actually one I literally just finished at like 2 in the morning today, and this is A Touch of Sunlight by Yafa Santos. I'm so sorry if I butcher her name. But this one follows Larimar, and she's a brand manager for a bakery chain, and she goes on a date that her best friend sets up with her, finds out that he owns an independent bakery, and she falls in love with him. She's also, I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm not very familiar with Dominican folklore, but I love this aspect. She's also a Ciguapa, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I did not pronounce it correctly. But I've never read a book with this, and I love that she puts a lot of really, really good representation in here. And I love learning about the cultures too. Like, this is a good way to learn about like just different Dominican cultures, a little bit of Spanish in here too. And I just really, really loved this one. It was a very quick read. I read this in literally 2 days. Like, I was reading it on my break at work on Thursday, and then I read it all night last night, and I loved this book. It's so good. There's no spice in here. While I would have liked some spice, I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I think that would have taken away from the plot. So if you want a closed door romance, like there is like one closed door scene, and it's kind of like a fade to black kind of thing. But I really liked that she did that, because I think spice probably would have taken away from the story. And it's also, sometimes it's refreshing to read a romance that isn't spicy. So I am glad I read this one. And this one I gave 5 stars too, because I just absolutely adored it. I love books about chefs. Like, I've been in the restaurant industry for 13 years now. So I love books that feature chefs in different, like the culinary industry, like the restaurant industry, in different ways. Not being romanticized like Hollywood does all the time. So it's nice to see an actual like person being represented properly in a restaurant. So anyway guys, I know this video is kind of short, but these were the 4 books that I read in the month of August. I am currently going to be picking up The Brothers Hawthorne. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get into this. I just put my bookmark in last night, so it's not really anything special. I haven't even read a single sentence of this book yet, but I will be reading this at the end of the month, so I feel like I did pretty well. I still have The Spanish Love Deception and Beg, Borrow, or Steal from my August TBR from episode 1 of Roll for Reads, but I'm pretty glad that I'm pretty proud of myself for reading 4 books in a month, honestly. It's been a little bit of an interesting month, so it's been busy, so I'm quite proud of the fact that I've read 4 books this month. So anyway guys, let me know if you read any of these and how you felt about them. If you haven't read them, let me know if you do. My Goodreads is always like the description box below for you guys, so you can follow me on Goodreads, see what I'm reading. Ignore the fact that I have like literally 13 books that are like currently reading, because some of them I softy enough and just never put in like a folder or whatever, so just ignore that. Just ignore that. My current read is The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you next week with a new video.